Good afternoon, all you thoughtfully made people out there. It's Courtney Morrison with Made Architecture and Design, back with another week in review. So last week, I had a friend reach out to me who owns a HVAC service company here in Atlanta, and he and I had lunch. I kind of mentioned this. We had lunch and caught up and got together, and he didn't mention this when we were together, but a few days later, he calls me and says, "Hey, we have bought a building and we're going to build out a new HQ space. Will you be our architect?" And I said, "Sure, that'd be great." So on Monday, I went and met with him, toured the space, talked through what he wanted to do and what he was thinking about. And he had kind of drawn up a plan of where he thought he was going and what he wanted to do. And we talked about what he wanted to get out of the space and all kinds of things. And so I just kind of talked with him about, his company, how he wants to run the company, what type of employees he wants to attract, how does he want them to work independently, together, hybrid, those sorts of things. What amenities does he want in the space? What's the primary function of the space? Things like that. And so even though it was a really kind of truncated process, still going with him and trying to talk through what it is he wanted to do and get out of the space. And so it was a really good conversation. And it's not a very big project in square footage. It's about 4,500 square feet of commercial space, an old kind of warehouse type space. I think it dealt auto parts before he bought it. And so worked really quickly to get a plan together for him based on our conversations, and then some modifications to those plans, and then ultimately putting together a set of permit drawings for him. And so that was really all I worked on all week long project wise, was to try to get that knocked out for him as quickly as we could so he could get a permit. He's got to move out of his existing building deadline and be into the new one. And so we went through that process and really just reiterated to me something that I've said here and kind of what I was discussing with him, that doing commercial architecture, particularly if you're the business owner and you're building a new HQ space, that's a branding opportunity, right? Who do you want to attract? How do you want them to work? What type of clients? What type of employees? Things like that are the questions that come into mind. What sort of message are you intending to put out into the world, and how do we use your physical space to deliver that? And so that's really what I was trying to do with him. And so it was good. I just really enjoy doing it, and I love serving business owners, particularly somebody like him who has a real passion for what he does. He's really thinking down the road and growing his company. And so it was really great to use my skills to serve him and serve his company. So that was great. And then, like I said, that started on Monday, and then on Tuesday worked on the Summit HQ space, and then had coffee that afternoon with a friend of mine, a guy I've connected to through church. I've actually known a while, but they had moved to California and then come back, and he's a physical therapist and is talking about starting his own practice, and he wanted to sit down and talk to me about what it was like starting and running my own business. So that was really rewarding. Probably I got as much out of that conversation as he did. So that was a lot of fun to sit down and talk to somebody else in a different industry and talk to him about what problems he faces versus what problems I face and things like that. So it was good. I felt like, in the 3 years I've been doing this, I was able to give him a little bit of wisdom in that conversation. So that was good on Tuesday. On Wednesday, continued on with the Summit HQ space. I had coffee that afternoon with a young electrical engineer who started his own electrical engineering practice. He actually Googled me and sent me a inquiry through my website. And so that's always fun that, Google and my website are working for me, even though he's not a client. It was nice to sit down and connect and talk about what it is he does and how he does it and why he wants to do it, things like that. So that was really good. I enjoyed that coffee with him. And then Thursday, I had a meeting, a call. I've talked a little bit about this house that I've designed down south of Atlanta. And the owner, we're just pulling together different people who have different scopes in the job. And so we had a call with the landscape architect, a pool builder, and the owner to talk through some of the difficulties, intricacies, things like that of the pool and the hardscape around the pool and things like that. So that was a really productive call. It was nice to have that. I feel like we're moving forward in a positive direction on that job. So that was good. And then on Friday, I had an intro call with a prospective client, somebody here in Atlanta who owns a like true mid-century house with some modern elements and is talking about updating it and things like that. So I got to talk to him about how I work, what I do, why I do it the way I do it, those sorts of things, and hear from him about his vision for the house, how he lives, how he intends to use the house, what potential he sees in it, and things like that. So that was really nice to just interface with somebody who felt like we had some commonalities and things, and approach design in a in a certain way. And hopefully that job will come around here this summer. I think was his timeline. He was just trying to get ahead of things and understand expectations a little bit. So that was my week. Upcoming next week, I'll be doing some stuff for the modern house down south of Atlanta. I've got some new work that I need to get started on and have enlisted some help for that. So I'm looking forward to all of those things. If you have questions or comments, leave them below. Like and subscribe. We would really appreciate that. It would help us out tremendously. And if you have any questions or comments, we'll try to address them in a future video. So y'all be particular. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you.